Hello again, everybody, from Wellington High School. Tonight, the Jupiter Warriors are on the road to battle the Wolverines of Wellington High School. A beautiful night for football. The Warriors won the toss. They have elected to receive the football first, so it'll be kicked off by number 87 for Wellington, and that will be Choice Hall, who will put a foot into it as we get started here. As we said, a beautiful night for football on the Big W Sports Network from Wellington High School.
District battle tonight between Wellington and Jupiter here, so big game for both of these teams. Should be a close one, been picked to be a close one by most of the experts, and we'll see what happens.
There's the football taken at the 10-yard line, and a big hole up the middle, and a good return for the Warriors, who have the ball out near the 40-yard line. Up across running the football is number 5, and that is Jerome Davis, who had a nice run back there out to about the 42-yard line, and that's where the Warriors will start. First and 10, good field position there. The Warriors are coached by Doug Uccellini, principal at Jupiter High School, Dan Frank, the athletic director, Michael DiLeonardo. The head coach for Wellington is Tom Abel, and their AD, Patty Fitzhugh. And we really appreciate Patty's help in providing us a great spot to do the game from tonight. Here's a snap and a carry, and it looks like number 23, Wallace, and he dives up close to midfield. Might have gotten the ball into Wellington territory, and I believe he did. They're going to mark him at the 49. That'll be a pickup of 9, and they're going to give him 10 and call it a first down, Bart.
They're going to go ahead and give him the first down there. It took him a minute to give the signal. It was right at a 10-yard gain, but good return and a good first play from scrimmage for Jupiter to start tonight's game.
Warriors try to draw first blood here. They snap the ball to Wallace. He runs it to the right-hand side, and he dives forward down inside the 45 and looks to be at about the 42-yard line, so a pickup of about 7. That'll bring up a second down. We'll call it 6. Call it second down and 4.
So a couple good gains by Wallace to start the offensive night here for Jupiter. We'll see if they can keep driving the ball and get a score here on their first drive.
10:47 left to play first quarter. Snap goes to Davis. Tries to get outside to the right side and grabbed, and a good play made by the Wellington Wolverines. Number 23, one of their co-captains, Sabatino. Matt Sabatino wrapped him up. This will be interesting to see where they're actually going to spot the football. And they actually take it back to the original line of scrimmage. What's that about?
Well, I guess
call it a loss of down.
I guess they figure he got back to the line right before his forward progress was stopped, and that's where they're going to mark him. So Jupiter has a chance on third down. It looked like somebody jumped offside there, but no flag on the. Oh no, there is a flag down.
Flag on the side here. That was a first down carry from Cody Wilson of the Jupiter Warriors, but they're going to call a 5-yard penalty on Wellington. And that's an automatic first down.
That will be a Jupiter first down. So 2 first downs so far here on the first drive into Wellington territory. Driving the football and trying to get the early lead.
Football is going to be marked at the 36-yard line where it's first and 10. 10:03 to play first quarter. Brent Weibel, Bart Weibel with you on this one from Wellington High School. Jupiter with the football. Have taken it to the Wellington 36-yard line. Snap goes to Wallace. Tries to run to his right, gets stood up and still on his feet, and picked up about 3 or 4 yards there, Bart. It looked like on just sheer determination, wouldn't go down.
Yeah, it looks like Luciano Wallace might have a little bit of strength and size on this Wellington front, so he may be the guy to watch out for tonight, and kind of a resurgence of him maybe here because of his strength and size.
Second down and 6. Now they're going to try Davis to get the wide to the right side. And again, Sabatino's got him marked and brings him down for a loss all the way back outside the 35 to about the 37-yard line. So a loss of about 5 is going to bring up a third down and 11. They tried to run to the wide side of the football field that time to no avail. And it brings up a third and 11. Now you could be in 4-down territory here, but it's going to be up to the coaching staff across the way for Jupiter.
Davis has had a couple good weeks here in a row, but his first couple runs tonight, he's been stopped for negative yardage, and we'll see if he can remedy that here on the next plays.
Looks like on that play that Garland changed up his cadence, and he drew off sides. Wellington's Wolverines will move it back to the 32, where now it's a 3rd down and 6 as they get the 5 yards back on the penalty.
So definitely a little bit more manageable there after the penalty here on 3rd down. It'd be interesting to see if Jupiter elects to put the ball in the air for the first time or if they keep it on the ground.
The direct snap comes to Cody Wilson. He cuts over the right side and dives down to the 30-yard line, but he's going to be about 4 yards shy of the first down. A gain of 2 will bring up a 4th down and 4 at the Wolverine 30-yard line. 8:16 left to play first quarter, and it does appear that Jupiter will go for it. Griffin Garland, who in this single wing offense, if there is a quarterback, he's the man. And he looked for the play, and he's got it. Let's see what they do. Direct snap goes to Cody Wilson, stumbles, then cuts forward with a nice move, and he might have the first down. He saw a little bit of an opening bark there on the right side, and he exploded through it, and I believe he's got the first down at the, 25-yard line.
Well, he made a nice little jump move. He was headed to his right side, made a little jump back to the left, which gave him a few yards. Got just enough for the first down, and this drive stays alive here for Jupiter.
Nice, nifty move there by Cody Wilson. Jupiter on the first drive of the ball game, trying to get to pay dirt. Here's a carry for Wallace, I believe, to the left side. Stutter steps and then takes the ball down to about the 15-yard line where he's finally wrapped up. And they let that play go. That was actually Davis that carried the ball. And looks like he's going to be marked at the 15, and that's another first down. That's a 10-yard gain.
So Wallace definitely has been able to find his way through that line here this first drive for Jupiter and reasserting himself as the dominant back thus far for Jupiter in the early going in this game against Wellington.
Warriors looking at a 1st and 10 at the Wellington 15. They're going to try to run to the right side. That's Davis with the ball. Garland tries to lead the block. He dives for about the 10-yard line, and I believe that's where he's going to be. A gain of about 5 on first down will bring up a 2nd down and 5 in the 10th play of this drive, which was aided by a penalty, but it's also seen 4 first downs, Bart.
Everything on the ground so far for Jupiter. Haven't put the ball in the air yet, and it's been successful thus far.
2nd and 5 at the Wolverine 10. Jupiter trying to draw pay dirt. And here's the give to Wilson, and he'll lose yardage. Back to the 15. He lost the 5 back, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 10 at the 15.
We haven't seen a lot of that out of Cody Wilson this year at all. He's been more of a receiver than a running back so far this season, but we haven't seen a lot of plays for negative yardage come out of his hands whenever the ball goes to him so far. So that's a little bit of a change and brings up a 3rd and long here for Jupiter and a big play early in this game.
It appeared that Cody actually, they're going to call a 3rd down and 8. Looked like he and marked the ball at the 14. Looked like he stumbled a little bit as he tried to get going. A big 3rd down play in this ball game. And they're going to try the right side, and it's Davis, and he's going to dive toward the 10-yard line, and it looks like he'll be at about the 11, which will give him about 3 and bring up a 4th down and 5. 12th play of the drive will be coming up. 5:35 left to play here in the first quarter, and actually the ball's
right at the 11.
Shot. Yeah, it is the 11. That's where I had it. So 4th and 5, and it looks like they're going to take a timeout here to talk over exactly what they want to do. Make sure you're on the winning team when it comes to your financial future. Contact Richard Lepore at Signature Financial Solutions at 1375 Gateway Boulevard in Boynton Beach. And set your course for financial security. Phone 561-596-2743. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Cobalt Computer Consultants, located in the shops of Jupiter at 201 North, U.S. Highway 1 in Jupiter. For computer training, lessons, and repairs, phone 561-623-0533 or 561-880-5685. Member Apple Consultants Network. And after tonight's game, stop by Cheeseburgers and More in the Jupiter West Shopping Center on Indiantown Road and enjoy one of their great burgers and your favorite beverage. 5:35 left. So for about 6.5 minutes, the Jupiter Warriors have had the ball, but here they're faced with a 4th and a long 5 at the 11-yard line to keep this drive alive.
Interesting decision here by Jupiter. They got enough leg in their kicker to take a lead right here, but they're going to try to go for it anyway.
They try a double handoff, and they give the ball to Cody Wilson, and he's stopped at the 10-yard line, and they'll turn the ball over. They tried a little misdirection and tried to fool Wellington's interior defense, did not do it after a gain of 1, and that will turn the ball over to Wellington.
So Wellington takes over on downs after a nice, long, sustained drive by Jupiter. Everything on the ground there in the first drive for them, but not able to put any points up on the board. Kind of interesting on the first drive there. You have the opportunity to take the lead with a relatively short kick, about a 29-yarder or so, which we know the Jupiter kicker definitely has in him, but they elect to go for it, don't get it, and turn the ball over on downs.
So it'll be Wellington with the first down, and with the football is Small Ridge, and he's going to throw, and he's got a man wide open. It's got a first down catch out at the 25-yard line. So pick up a 15 and a 1st and 10.
Interesting little scamper there by the Wellington quarterback. Gets away from a little bit of pressure, not a whole lot, but a little bit, and buys himself enough time to throw the ball out there for first down yardage. And the first play for Wellington is a positive one, and results in a first down for them.
Cole Smallridge is their quarterback. He's a senior, 5'10", 170 pounds, and he rifled that one to the wide receiver out on the left side for the first down. 1st and 10, Wellington. They go on a quick count, and they try to run the ball this time. And it might have been a quarterback who had a little trouble, I think, Bart, holding on to the snap, and he did. And Smallridge just kind of covered it up. Actually gained about a foot out of it. He was lucky there. We'll call it a gain of 1, 2nd and 9 at the 26-yard line.
Yeah, a little bit of trouble there on the snap from the center, and he's able to cover it up. Wellington maintains possession, and like you said, positive yardage, not much, but it is what it is. It's better than moving backwards.
4:30 to play in the first quarter. No score here at Wellington. Wolverines with the football. They've got it at their own 26-yard line. Smallridge is going to hand the ball off, and dancing around in the backfield and going nowhere is the ball carrier. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that play. It'll be 3rd down and 9 from the 26. So a pretty good job right there, Bart, of the Jupiter interior defensive line to not allow any running room for the ball carrier.
Well, the first couple plays that the Wellington Wolverines have tried to keep the ball on the ground, Jupiter's been able to stand them up nicely for very, very little yardage, and now a passing down here for Wellington to see if they can keep their first drive alive.
Smallridge will come up under center. He's got twin receivers on the far side of the football field. Jupiter tries to play press defense. He drops back. He's got some time. He's going to flush out to the left side and throw the football. And a catch is made over along the sideline. Was the player in bounds? Yes, he was. Number 3 on the catch, Gene Renee, and he pulls it in for a first down.
That's going to be a gain of about 14 on the play right there. Nice little pass play. Both times Wellington has gone to the air, they have been successful for first down yardage both times as well. That time on 3rd and long, very difficult play, but they were able to complete the pass and get the first down and keep the drive alive.
Moves the football out to the 38-yard line, so the Wolverines started this drive on their own 10, and they've moved it upfield pretty well here. Smallridge will come up under center. I believe he's got Howe in the backfield behind him. Jupiter showing a blitz. Now he's going to try to pass the ball, fires it over the middle, the ball's knocked loose and incomplete. He tried to go to Renee again, and now a couple of late flags. He got hit. I don't know if what happened after the play, but that looked like a good play initially as the defender put his helmet right on the numbers. But I don't know if there was some extracurricular after the whistle or not, but I think that's going to cost Jupiter, unfortunately.
Well, the ball hit the receiver, and then the Jupiter defender was able to knock the ball loose and actually put the ball in the air a little bit, maybe give him a chance to pick it off. And the officials are going to wave off the flag here. I thought maybe it was something after the play. It looked like there was some jawing going on between the Wellington receiver and the Jupiter defender, but they go ahead and wave that one off, and makes it 2nd down and 10.
Well, I, like you, thought that if there was a penalty, that it came well after the play, and the officials felt that that wasn't the case. 2nd and 10 for Wellington at the 38. They've got a man in the slot on the near side here. Twin receivers this way. Jupiter jumping around. They want to try to get in and stop the run, but a good carry by the fullback.
The flag right as the play began, so we'll see who that one's on. That was a nice little gain for Wellington, but it may be negated after the penalty.
Sabatino on the carry there had taken the ball out across the 45 to the 46-yard line, but a illegal procedure call will back it up for the Wolverines. 3:16 to play. Jupiter took the opening kickoff, got a great kickoff return by Davis, took the ball out at the 42-yard line, marched all the way down to the 10, but tried to run it for the first down on a 4th and 5 and only got 1 yard and were unable to keep it. So now the ball is spotted back at the 34-yard line, and it's going to be a 2nd down and 16. Small Ridge under center. Twin receivers near side. Twin receivers also on the far side. He's going to hand the ball off. They're going to run the ball in a big hole as, again, Sabatino carried it straight ahead. But they tried to catch Jupiter napping a little bit. They gave up some yardage. It's going to bring up a 3rd down now and about 8 as he gained about 8 on that carry. Takes the ball out to the 41-yard line. We're going to call it 2nd down and 8, or 3rd down, and 8 for the Wolverines. Play comes in. Small Ridge came over to the sideline and got the play.
Definitely more of a manageable 3rd down here, being inside 10 yards than being outside 15. So we'll see.
They burned Jupiter through the air on these type of plays before. Small Ridge going to take it back, wants to throw, gets pressured, gets hit, and he's going to go down for a big loss as he's going to go down all the way back inside the 25-yard line. Now they're going to actually mark him at the 27, 28.
They're going to mark that for about a 13-yard loss on the snap. That's or the sack. That's a one of the biggest plays for loss that Jupiter has been able to force all year, and in a big spot here, making it 4th and forever and forcing Wellington to punt the football away.
4th and looks like about 22 for a 1st down. Back to kick for Wellington. Can't pick the number up. Snap is a good one. Gets the kick away. It's going to wobble off, and Davis is going to let it hit and then pick it up. Try to run away from traffic. Gets to the outside. Turns it up the field. Got some plus yardage as he takes it up near the 40-yard line before he's wrestled down across the way. Pretty good job there. These Jupiter players have no fear, Barton, doing that. That's a dangerous play. A lot of football players do not want you touching the ball after it hits the ground, but these guys, they're not afraid to do it.
Yeah, we've actually seen them probably field more punts off the ground than out of the air this year so far, as they definitely seem to have a little more confidence doing it that way. And that worked out for him, able to get some positive yardage on the return, and Jupiter set up with pretty decent field position here to start their 2nd drive again.
38-yard line, their own, 1st and 10. 1:21 left to play, 1st quarter, no score from Wellington. And they're going to carry the ball straight ahead, and that's Wallace, and he's got a big hole. He carries it all the way up across the 45, up to about the 46. That'll be a gain of about 8, and leave a 2nd and short for the Warriors.
Nice gain again there on 1st down for Jupiter. They've shown that they've been able to move the ball on the ground so far against this defense until they get into that red zone, and we'll see if they can be a little more successful on this 2nd drive.
And they snap it again to the big fella, Wallace, and he piles straight ahead, and he's still on his feet, still driving as he takes the ball into Wellington territory at the 48-yard line. That'll be a gain of 6 and a 1st and 10.
So Wallace is showing off his strength and size so far in this game against Wellington. The coaches and him have seen so far that he has a nice little matchup with their line and is able to be quick enough to get through and strong enough to push the line a little bit and get positive yards.
He gets it again, and he's just carrying people with him as he drives forward for about 7 more yards. Definitely. Wallace just chewing up the yardage. We'll give him 7 more and call it now a 2nd down and 3 as he moves the ball down to the 42-yard line.
So into Wellington territory here again, and we'll see if Jupiter can keep on driving and put up the first points of this game.
Jupiter's going to have to hurry to get this play off before time runs out in the first quarter. They just do. Garland back once the pass gets flush. Rolls to his left, throws the ball. He's got a man out here, but it's incomplete. Tried to go to number 11, and that is Devin Bowie, but he couldn't get the ball to him, and it's incomplete, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 3. But before that happens, that's the end of the first quarter. No score here at Wellington. The Jupiter Ball Club been able to move the ball pretty well here, but I think it's good. That's their first pass attempt, I think, of the night, Bart, and they had to do that a little bit just to, I think, get that defensive line of Wellington back on their heels just a little bit if they're able to do that.
Yeah, push that coverage back a little bit, maybe give them a little more running room as well, and but a nice play there by number 23 on the Wellington defense as he came up, and I think he just got enough of the quarterback before he was able to release the ball that it threw his pass offline to the point where they really didn't have any chance of completing it there to end the first quarter, and that closes the book on one of the first scoreless quarters that we've seen here in the Jupiter football season.
Yeah, we haven't had many of them, but it's all zeros there. Jupiter took the ball, got a good return on the opening kickoff out to their own 42-yard line. They marched it right down the field to the 10. Actually, they were at the 11, and they had a 4th and 5, but could only gain 1 yard. And that 13-play drive or 12-play drive ended right there. And then the Wolverines took over and had 8 plays of their own, but a couple of penalties were costly to them, and that's kind of where we're at right now with a big 3rd down and 3 for the Warriors coming up right in front of us here.
Going the other direction now on the field, starting the second quarter, and 3rd and manageable right here. My guess is they'll keep the ball on the ground right here and try to run it for a 1st down.
And jumping offside is the Wolverine interior defensive line for about the 3rd time tonight.
That hard snap has gotten them a few times. The Jupiter Warriors have taken advantage of the lack of discipline of the Wellington front line on defense right there and able to get the 1st down without having to snap the football.
Moves the ball down to the 37-yard line, 1st and 10. If there's one thing that the single wing might give you an advantage on, it is that type of thing on the cadence, because you're so clued on trying to get to the ball carrier on a direct snap that you do tend to jump off sides. 1st and 10, Jupiter, the 37 of Wellington. Garland back to pass, has time, he's got a man wide open out there, lobs it out there for number 24, but incomplete.
Just overthrew him a little bit, maybe a couple yards overthrown. He tried to put some air under that ball to let the receiver run underneath it. The receiver just didn't have quite enough speed to get to that football. If he had, may have been tough to catch and may have been a Jupiter touchdown, but that will bring up 2nd down and 10.
Piccarelli was the intended receiver, and it looked like he rounded that route off a little bit too, and that always takes a little bit away on the throw. 2nd and 10 from the Wellington 37, and they're going to try to run straight ahead, and that's Wallace with the ball, who carries it down to the 30-yard line.
So a good little gain on 2nd down there. That'll make it a 3rd and pretty short here, about 3rd and 4, and Jupiter well into Wellington territory now, down at the 30-yard line, so 4-down territory once again probably, and we'll see if they can pick up the 1st down before having to use all 4 of those downs.
They took Wallace out, and they send in Devin Bowie, an extra receiver. Question is, will this be a running play or will it be a pass play? 3rd and 4 at the Wolverine 30 for Jupiter. 11:05 to play in the half, and whistles blow before the ball can be snapped. And generally that means you have some movement on the offensive side.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the case.
No, timeout called by the Warriors prior to the snap of that football. That's an interesting. I wasn't expecting that at all, Bart, but that's what the call will be. Make sure you're on the winning team when it comes to your financial future. Contact Richard Lepore, Signature Financial Solutions at 1375 Gateway Boulevard in Boynton Beach. Set your course for financial security. Phone 561-596-2743. And after tonight's game, stop by Cheeseburgers and More in the Jupiter West Shopping Center on Indian Town Road and enjoy one of their great burgers and your favorite beverage. And tonight's game is brought to you in part by Cobalt Computer Consultants, located in the shops of Jupiter, 201 North US Highway 1 in Jupiter. For computer training, lessons, and repairs, phone 561-623-0533 or 561-880-5685. Member Apple Consultants Network. Third down and 4 for the long 4 for the Jupiter Warriors at the Wolverine 30. And they're going to give the ball to Wallace. He's going to take it straight ahead and pile drive down inside the 25-yard line. If they mark him at the 25, that's a gain of 5 and a first down. That's why the timeout, Bart. They had taken Wallace out of the ball game and then worked him back in. And that's a guy to stay with. Ride that horse as long as he's hot. The Wellington's really had no answer for Luciano Wallace, and another first down here.
Yeah, so far he's been able to eat up yardage and clock and has definitely been strong, and this play is going to go to him again.
Not much there, though, that time. I don't know if he got past the line of scrimmage. They tried to spread the field a little bit that time, Jupiter did, with a pair of wide receivers on the far side of the football field, but once Wallace got the ball, Wellington did not fall for it, and no gain. It'll bring up a second down and 10 at the Wellington 25-yard line.
So Jupiter getting closer to the end zone once again, and all of a sudden you can kind of feel the momentum as they get closer and closer to the end zone, just kind of taper off.
Yeah.
And kind of an odd feeling there. But
Garland wants to pass, steps up in the pocket, slips away from a tackler, and then just takes the ball and gets upended down around the 15-yard line, but he might have a first down.
Looks like they're going to mark him just a little bit short at about the 16-yard line, but that is going to make it third and a short one, really. And Jupiter has a chance here to run that ball up the middle once again and keep this drive alive inside the red zone and have four downs to work with once again.
Well, he wanted to pass the football that time, but did the right thing when he saw the open turf in front of him, just tucked it and ran with it. Third down and 1. Give the ball to Wallace, and he, I think, got the first down. He didn't get a lot, but he got the ball inside the 15, which is what he needed to do. We'll call it the 14, a gain of 2, and it should be a first and 10 there. 11th play of the drive coming up, Bart.
Yeah, it looked like for the first down he needed to get right to the 15-yard line. It looks like they're going to mark him just inside it. Can't really call it the 14, but in between the 14 and 15, enough for a first down. And Jupiter with a chance here inside the red zone.
Inside 9 minutes to play. First half, no score from Wellington. Jupiter has marched to the Wolverine 14, and they're going to try a halfback option pass. They've got a man wide open, and Cody Wilson pulls it down at about the 8-yard line. And that ball thrown, I think, by Davis. And we haven't seen that. They're pulling out all the stops tonight. That's going to mark it at the 8 and a pick up a 6. Call it second down and 4 from there.
We have seen that a couple times where somebody besides Griffin Garland has thrown the football out of that direct snap offense. Very rarely been successful. That one is successful for a decent little gain and gives them second down and like you said, about 4.
Nice spiral thrown there by Davis, too, to Cody Wilson, who's always a load to cover. Twin receivers far side, and we've got a flag thrown. Did we have somebody line up offside? That came from the back judge, and they're going to. He saw something, some illegal motion by Jupiter. Boy, you don't want those kind of penalties when you get down here.
No, you get a nice first down play there from there on the first down in the red zone. And that 5-yard penalty going to back it up and make it second and about 9.
Give the ball to Davis, tries to run up the middle, still on his feet, tries to slip through and can't. Might have got the ball to the 11-yard line. A gain of 2, it'll be third and 7 there.
Well, it looks like you're going to mark it inside the 9. Nice little spot there for him. Or inside the 10, sorry, at about
the
the
9,
9-yard
all right.
line.
Got a little more than I thought he did.
That'll be third and 5, and Jupiter does have that opportunity to pick up one more first down before they have to get to the end zone, which could be big here on this play. for these next couple plays if they decide not to kick it if they don't get it here.
Interesting here, Wallace not in the ball game. He's been the workhorse. There's Wilson in motion. They give Wilson the ball. He tries to get outside to the left, and that fooled nobody for Wellington. Too much east and west running, not enough north and south there.
Really a short loss on that as Jupiter's decided to give Cody Wilson a shot as far as carrying the football a little bit more than we're used to seeing so far tonight. And he's their big play guy through the air, but has not thus far been able to come up with many big plays on the ground.
Markeith Doak's going to try a field goal of 32 yards. The snap is good. The kick is up, and it looks good, and it is good. And Jupiter takes the 3-0 lead, and it comes at 6:48 to play in the second quarter, and they march that ball 52 yards to get that 3 points by Dokes.
So Jupiter this time around, their second drive, they decide to go ahead and take the points, and they use that good foot, kick up and good, and they take the 3-point lead here, and now we'll have to watch and see what Jupiter comes up with on their kickoffs, which have been interesting to say the least so far this year as well.
Yes, they have been, that's for sure. We never know what we're going to get. Well, we're going to get a deep ball or a pooch or out of bounds or an 8-yard onside kick attempt. We just don't know.
We've seen very few of the long variety, probably more of the out of bounds variety than anything, but that was, who was that? That was Santa Lucis last week that actually made them re-kick the football after they kicked it out of bounds, saying, no, we're not going to take the ball at the 40. We're gonna let you try this again and see if we can get a good return. So we'll see what happens here on Jupiter's first kickoff of the game and see what they decide to do.
Dokes is going to kick it, and he's going to drive it along the ground. It's fumbled by a Wellington player at about the 25, tries to get outside, cuts back. He's brought down. A good tackle out there by number 25 for the Jupiter Warriors, who saved a lot of yardage, Chase Sanders, and it looks like the ball's going to be marked at the 36-yard line of Wellington.
Really a nice little return there by the upback by Wellington. Not somebody who I'm sure is accustomed to returning many kicks, but he was very patient, didn't try to just take the ball and run upfield with it. He took his time, assessed what was in front of him, and was able to get a decent little return.
Small Ridge will bring him up to the line of scrimmage. He's got twin receivers on the far side, a man in a slot. He's going to hand the ball off, and a nice run there by number 23, the ball carrier, Sabatino, who should have been stopped at about the line of scrimmage, but slithered through to take the ball out across the 40 up to the 42. A gain of 6, second down and 4, 6:19 left to play. First half. We are in the second quarter. Jupiter leads 3-0. Small Ridge has the play, takes it back out onto the field.
Yeah, was able to slip through the tackler, number 40 there. He got hands on him, but was not able to bring him down, and he ends up with a nice little gain on first down, and now they're ready, coming up to the line here for their second down play.
Single wide receiver to each side of the football field. Man in the slot, going to hand the ball off and try to run it, but this time Sabatino stopped on a good play by number 30 for the Jupiter Warriors, who stepped up and dropped him. Corey Oporto dropped him.
So that'll bring up third down here for Wellington, and we will have a timeout. I think this is going to be a water break.
Looks like they gave him a yard on the carry, and we're going to call it third down and a short 3 or a long 2, whichever you prefer, Bart. Mark that ball out at the 43-yard line. Might mention, Jonathan Jerez has been the kicker all year long for Jupiter, both placements and kickoffs. But tonight it's Markeith Dokes, a 5'11", 170-pound senior. So I don't know if that means that Jerez is injured. I haven't seen number 2 on the sideline, but Dokes has done a pretty good job so far. He's kicked a field goal and had a pretty effective kickoff that at least pinned Wellington back inside their own 35-yard line.
Yeah, that's actually good field position for Jupiter to start on the defense, as they've started more often from the 40 and beyond. And so that worked out for them there the first time. We'll see if the defense can make a stop.
I formation. They're going to run the ball, and they're going to give it off to the back. It's got a first down. That was number 20 that carried that ball, and that is Mike Howard. So they went to a straight eye and just powered the ball. The power eye. Well, I've seen a lot of that in my days. That's a bread and butter play in Jasper, Indiana. They live on that play, but run very well there by Wellington for the first down as they gain the 5 yards, and they keep their drive alive. Plenty of time on their side. 5:10 to play in a quarter. They trail 3-0. They are 2 yards shy of putting the ball into Jupiter territory for, I believe, the first time tonight.
I don't think they quite got there on their first drive, and getting close this time.
One of the Warriors had trouble with a helmet. That's DeMarco, I believe, 45. Now he's got that fixed, and now we're ready to go.
They had the big sack to end that last drive, which backed them way up back into their own territory. So they are threatening for the first time to get into.
Jupiter showing blitz. They're going to try to run the football. They come to the near side of the football field, and nice little run for number 20. And that is Mike Howard again. And they're going to mark him out of bounds in Jupiter territory at the 47-yard line.
And so a lot of lateral running there on that one, but a successful play on first down gets them into Jupiter territory, and it'll be about 2nd and 5.
Well, Jupiter was doing a lot of jumping prior to the snap of the football, and it looked like they were going to send a blitz there. And I think really what happened was they got caught with their guys all up on the line of scrimmage on the bluff, and now it looks like we're going to have a timeout taken here. And it will be. Wellington's going to spend a timeout. 4:34 left to play in the first half. Jupiter 3 on the strength of a Dokes field goal of, I believe that was 29 yards that he kicked that one, and that is the only score. Actually, 27 yards is where it was kicked from. And that's the only score of the game. But Wellington on the drive here, Bart, and they've done a pretty good job of running the football when they've had to here. And you worry about their ability to pass because we saw in their first drive that Small Ridge is able to pick up his receivers pretty well.
Yeah, he's been successful through the air so far, and the ability to run the ball a little bit will just open up some of those passing lanes some more as we go forward, and it'll be interesting to see how balanced the Wellington attack is from here on out.
2nd and 5 from the Jupiter 47-yard line. And we had movement, but it was Wellington that jumped off sides. They had a right guard that'll back it up 5 yards and bring up a 2nd down and 10.
That's a big play here in this spot. I mean, they're down by 3 on their home field. They're driving the football, got it into Jupiter territory, 2nd and 5, and now it's as though they got no positive yardage on that first down play as it backs them up to 2nd down and 10 and back into their own territory once again.
So a 2nd down and 10 for Wellington. Small Ridge will bring them up to the line of scrimmage, and they will go back to the power I. They ran the ball with Howard the last time. He's the tailback in this I formation. And they're going to fake the ball. No, they give it off to him, and he's hit right away by number 18 for the Jupiter Warriors. Ryan Tomasi was waiting for him at the pass, and if he got back to the line of scrimmage, he was lucky.
A big play by the Jupiter defense right there, but they are going to mark it for pretty much no gain right there, and brings up a 3rd and long.
3rd down and 10 for Wellington. Small Ridge has already shown he can pass the football out of this. We'll see how Jupiter plays it. They've tried to get after him. One time on that last drive, we had a big 3rd down play, and they sent everybody and got the big sack on him about 14 yards, Bart.
Yeah, that's a tough 3rd down play last time. I'm sure Wellington's hoping for a much better result this time.
I formation. He's going to throw the ball out on the bubble screen, and it's caught by the wide receiver, and then he's taken out of bounds, and he'll be taken out of bounds at about the 46-yard line. So a gain of about 6 yards, but it's going to bring up 4th and about 4.
Yeah, he was able to slip that first tackle, but not able to get enough for the first down. 4th and 4 here. And probably not quite 4 down territory for Wellington here. This is one of those situations where you definitely got to watch out for a fake. But guessing they may kick it off, but there's a flag here before anybody comes up to the line of scrimmage from the far side of the field.
Generally, when a flag is thrown from there, somebody touches the football before.
Sideline warning.
Sideline warning on Jupiter, I believe,
Yeah,
to back
like
their
it.
guys up. I didn't see anybody out there,
I
but that was
didn't
the
either.
call.
I didn't see what was going on there unless it was a coach maybe in the ear of the official, and he gave him some type of warning for that.
Well, that's enough of that. Here's the snap. It's a good one. And almost blocked by Davis, but a high punt away. Wilson's going to watch it hit, and it is going to...
The question is, I think that hit off a Jupiter player, and I think the Jupiter return man saw it, and that's why he went after the football, and it's going to be interesting to see who comes up with this.
Boy, I think Bart's right, and that was just somebody not watching, and Wellington comes up with the ball.
Wow.
And that was a blocker. That was not a return man, and it was 25 that it went off of, and that is Chase Sanders, and he's got to make sure he stays away from that football there. But what a job by the Wellington punter to get that ball away so high, and boy, Wellington is set up now.
Well, that's a situation there of where the Wellington defense really pushed the Jupiter blocker into the football, and it benefits them greatly there, as that's basically a big gainer and a new first down.
Smallwood's going to hand the ball off and taking it to the left side. The ball carrier spins and he's into the end zone, I believe. Touchdown, Wellington. That was number 23 who took it in, Sabatino, and a 12-yard touchdown run. And boy, that fumble was costly by Jupiter.
Huge,
that comes at 3:14 to play in the second quarter after that fumble. And now an attempt at the extra point kick will be made. I believe that's 87 that does their placement kicking, and that is Choice Hall.
Huge turn of events right there. Jupiter going to get the ball back after another defensive stand. And like we said, the Jupiter player pushed into the football there. Not a whole lot he could do. He didn't know the football was coming down there, but benefits Wellington.
Kick is up, kick is good, 7-3. Wolverines now with the lead after the miscue by the Warriors. And I think you were right. You called that exactly right. Cody Wilson realized that ball had hit Sanders. He tried to get on top of it but was unable to, as the Wolverines were down there and covered, and they made Jupiter pay for that miscue right there.
Well, it was only those two players for Jupiter down on that end of the field, really, with 4 or 5 Wellington players in coverage, and that's one of them there where Cody Wilson saw it right. The ball did hit off the Jupiter player, but maybe some question about it, to where with so many Wellington players down there, maybe he'd have been better acting as though it just hit off of a Wellington player, hoping the officials saw it that way, but he did go after the football to no avail. Wellington picks it up, drives it right into the end zone, kick the extra point, and they take the lead here, getting late into the first half.
Hall has it teed up at the 40-yard line. Jupiter has Davis back, standing at his own 10-yard line, awaiting the kick. And here it comes, and he's going to have a chance to return it. Fields it at the 10, 15, 20, 25, and then gets spun down at about the 26 or 7-yard line, and that's where Jupiter will start with their worst field position of the night. And you really feel bad if you're Jupiter too, Bart, because unofficially I have them running 26 offensive plays in this ball game to 16 for Wellington, yet they trail 7-3, and that's what turnovers and miscues can do to you.
Well, whenever you turn the ball over way down inside the opponent's territory and give them the short field, it doesn't take a lot of plays a lot of times for the other team to put points on the board, and that's what Wellington did. They took advantage of it in that situation, and that gave them the lead.
Here is a ball carried for, maybe that, is that Wallace? A ball carried out across the 30-yard line. Never did finally hear a late whistle, but Yeah, I think that was Wallace, but not much doing there. He did carry it out across the 30 up to the 31-yard line. So a gain of 4, 2nd and 6. And Jupiter has 2:38 left to play, plenty of time. Give the ball to Davis, big hole over the right side. He's on the sideline. He's got a man to beat, cuts back in, still driving with the football. They try to pull it away from him, but he finally takes it out of bounds all the way down inside the 45 at the 44-yard line of Wellington.
Richards and Petrovich on the stop.
35-yard run by Davis.
First down, Jupiter.
First down 10 for the Warriors.
44-yard line.
That was a big play, and Jupiter needs a couple of those to get the momentum back here on the road and hope to push the ball down the field, get a score here going into halftime.
First and 10 at the Wellington 44. Davis has the ball, tries the left side. He's got another nice hole as he dives the ball down inside the 40, down to about the 39. He picks up 5 more, and it'll be 2nd down and 5.
So Jupiter on the march here into Wellington territory, moving the football fairly easily at this point, and we'll see if they can continue that as we are down under 2 minutes to play in the first half.
Warriors taking a lot of time to get this play off as they've seen the clock now go under 1:40. Garland wants to pass, throws the ball out. He's got a man out there, and the ball is caught by Jupiter down inside the 10-yard line. The receiver was number 24, Piccarelli, and he pulled that in some way. Bart, how did he do it?
Well, it looked like he went up with both hands, and he was on the defender. He was actually on the defender, was able to get up over the top of him, pull it down, and make the catch, and that is a huge play in that situation. For this Jupiter football team.
First and goal at the 8. It was a 31-yard pass play. Here comes Davis. He's got some room. He carries the ball. He's in for the touchdown. And Jupiter regains the lead with still 1:14 left to play.
Big play to strike back there in such a short amount of time on a couple big plays by the Jupiter offense, showing that they can work their way through this Wellington defense, and right whenever they needed it, after the big turnover and the Wellington score, Jupiter comes back, puts together a touchdown drive, and if they can kick the extra point here, we're right back to that 3-point lead.
The kick is up, and the kick is good, and they have extended their lead to 10-7, but Wellington will get the football yet another time here with 1:14 left to play. Bart, you and I talked about it last week. A lot of times Jupiter's their own worst enemy. In the Santa Lucis game, looked like they were headed for a touchdown that was going to give them the lead in that ball game and their 14th point. And after they had a return back to the 10, a couple of penalties hurt them, and then they wound up fumbling the football. And Santa Lucis picked it up and returned it for, 43 yards, something like that. And the game got away from them right there, but they should have been really looking at a lead, and they'd have a shutout going for them here tonight if they wouldn't have had that miscue on the punt by Wellington. But I got to give that kicker for Wellington a lot of credit because that was a tremendously high kick. And in high school, if you can get that kind of hang time, good things can happen to you.
Well, and he did have some good distance on it, and it would have been pinned back inside the 20 no matter what. And so a nice kick, but yeah, as far as last week was going, that really was the ball game in that game. That Jupiter was driving. They had every opportunity to kind of put that game in their hands, and as soon as they made that turnover, that gave Santa Lucis the opportunity to drive the football, and they just couldn't be stopped at that point and took control of the game.
Here's the kick by Dokes. Looks like it's going to sail out of bounds, and it does around the 15. Now, Wellington can either make him kick it over or take it at the 35-yard line, and it looks like they're going to take it at the 35. And with 1:14, that gives them pretty good field position.
Yeah, good start there for Wellington once again as the kickoff woes, we could call them at this point, for Jupiter continue as that football goes out of bounds, and Wellington will take over here at their own 35-yard line.
One thing that it does do, it does negate a long return, but it also sets Wellington up in good position. They're going to send twin receivers to each side of the football field. They've got Sabatini behind Small Ridge. And he's going to drop back, wants to pass, looks left, fires the ball out there, and the ball is caught. And a good catch out here by number 3, Gene Rene, who pulls in another catch. This time he has the ball and he gets out of bounds inside the 45 at the 43-yard line of Jupiter.
Yeah, big play right there, and that's throwing the ball kind of off balance right there. It was a nice play for him to be able to put a nice spiral on it, put it right on target, and the Wellington offensive player able to go up, keep 1 foot in bounds, and get the big gain.
22-yard gain. Twin receivers to each side of the football field. Sabatini behind Small Ridge. Jupiter showing pass rush. They come. They get a hold of him, and he goes down. 18 made the stop for the Warriors. Tomasi again, and he reached out and grabbed the jersey, and it was enough to pull him down.
Yeah, it looked like 45 was on that play, too, getting in there for Jupiter, and that's a big play here as we get under 1 minute. And Jupiter going to do whatever they can right now to keep Wellington off the board before we get to halftime and hopefully go into half with a lead.
That was a loss of 4 yards, brings up a 2nd down and 14 and a timeout taken out here, I think, by the Wellington Wolverines with 59.1 seconds left in the half. 10-3 is the score in the football game. Jupiter drew first blood. They got a Dokes 27-yard field goal to make it 3-0 with 6:48 left to play in the second quarter. Then, after a punt, after they had their defense had done a very good job on the Wellington offense, they had a blocker kicked in or pushed into the football on a fumble, and Wellington took advantage and took the lead. Here's Smallridge, back to pass, looks left, has time, now they're after him. He's going to get hit and goes down, fumbles the ball out of bounds, and on the sack is Luciano Wallace, number 23 for the Warriors.
So Wallace been successful now on both sides of the football tonight, gaining yards on the ground offensively, and big loss right there on the play for Wellington as he gets through the line, hustles, and gets the sack/fumble that goes out of bounds, and this is third and forever, way back into Wellington territory once again.
Well, they're saying it's a loss of 12, and it was already 2nd and 14, so now it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 26 with 48.3 seconds left. Now you want to be careful because you don't want to give Jupiter, if you're Wellington, a score, which they're licking their chops. Smallridge in the shotgun this time. Twin receivers far side. Here comes the blitz. They're going to throw the ball out along the sideline, and the ball carrier tackled right away, and that is number 2, Amon Richards. And well played and well defended there by the Jupiter Warriors as he's dropped right at the 45-yard line, was unable to get out of bounds. And Jupiter will take a timeout here. I don't know if that's a good play or not. That's going to allow Wellington to set up the punt. That didn't work so well the last time.
Well, very, very minimal gain right there. So 4th and long, Wellington pretty much with no other option but to punt the football with 37.2 seconds to play. Jupiter deciding to take the timeout as they're going to try to get a good return, and if they can get a good return, maybe run a play or two yet. The timeout saving them some seconds to maybe put together something and try to get into field goal range here before the end of the half, or maybe even push it into the end zone. But long shot still, as we'll see what happens here on the punt. You got to figure that Jupiter's going to send some people, go for the block right here and see if they can get to the football. But Wellington going to try to get this off and pretty much end the chances of a Jupiter score here.
4th and 22. The snap is a good one. Davis is back, and they put the rush on, although they do not get to it. Now the ball's going to hit. Davis is going to field it, though. Again, a dangerous one. He's going to take it to the side and roll it up the sideline. Now still on his feet, still running. He's got a man to beat. Now we've got a flag thrown, I think. Yeah.
Never a good thing to see on a return if you're the return team is a flag. While he's running downfield usually means a block in the back, and it'll be coming back quite a ways.
Well, they had a pretty good return there as he carried the ball in initially into Wellington territory, but as Bart told you, this is going to come back probably a block in the back. used to call clipping. You know, that's almost a word you don't even hear associated with football anymore, and it used to be one of the main words, but now it's the block in the back, which is basically the same thing. They call a hold, I believe, actually on this one.
That was the block in the back.
Oh, was it? Okay.
I think it's very similar, just a
All right.
switch of the palm almost. So tough to see. Lights on here in the press box tonight, making some glare through the windows. A little tougher to see, but that does hurt Jupiter's chances here, as there's only 18 seconds to play in the half, and a difference between being up near midfield and way back into their own territory.
Yeah, now they're at their own 31, 1st and 10, and they're going to try to get the ball to Cody Wilson. He's got some running room down the left side. There he goes. He's at the 50, the 45, the 40, and ridden out of bounds down close to the 30 with still 9.3 seconds to play.
Well, so a big play there. Cody Wilson, their big play man, and he does get out of bounds. So Jupiter probably has the opportunity here to maybe run one more play. If they have a timeout left, which I think they do, they could run something to the middle and try to get into field goal territory, or run an out play and try to set something up here to get a score to end this half.
That was a 45-yard run by Cody. 1st and 10 at the Wellington 34. Griffin Garland back to throw. Where's the man? Fires it out for Picarelli, and he's got the catch. Can he get out of bounds? He did not make it out of bounds. Tackled in, and that'll be the end of the first half of play. He tried to get out of bounds. He could not do so, and he was pulled in.
Definitely a big play there, but to no avail. No time left on the clock after the end, or once that play ended.
Well, I know what Coach Uccinelli is trying to say here.
He's down before the clock ran out.
And if it's a first down, then the clock stops. And I think he's going to get him to talk about it here. So this half may not be over yet.
And if there is time left and they have that timeout,
kick the field goal.
They're going to kick the field goal.
Let's see.
Of course, if Wellington never comes up to the line, they'll just snap it and walk it into the end zone. But we've got the band on the field. We've got Wellington leaving the field, and Jupiter thinks there's still time left on the clock.
This will really be an interesting call here. They are talking this over, but I saw 2 seconds, about 2.5
time
when he got tackled, and I know Coach headed off the field real quick after Doug Uccinelli put in his 2 cents worth, and I think he thought he was going to get this call. We'll see what's going to happen. They may call the Wellington Wolverines back out onto the football field.
I did glance up at the clock right as he was ready to go down there, and it sure looked like there was time left on the clock when the whistles were blown.
Now, where was the ball when he got tackled? Wasn't he down?
He was down inside. He was down inside the 20, down inside the 10.
I thought he was too.
Yeah,
but see, they picked up the football. I'm not sure if they really know where they would even spot this. If they bring him back out, they're going to wave this off. So that'll be the end of the first half of play. Wow. Okay, well that's the way the first half ends, with Jupiter really heading for another score there, but time runs out, and they are ahead 10-7, a total of 17 points scored, 10-7. They could have easily been ahead, Bart, 10-0, but that great punt by Wellington, and then the fact that the blocker was pushed into the football created a fumble and gave Wellington a short field, and they took over at their 12 and scored on one play when Sabatino took it in and took the lead at that point 7-3 after Dokes had nailed a 27-yard field goal for Jupiter at 6:48 of the second quarter, and it stayed that way just until Jupiter really got rolling as they took the ball 73 yards, and they did that in just 5 plays and got the 8-yard touchdown run by Davis. Dokes added a point after kick, and that's where we're at halftime with the score 10-7 in favor of Jupiter. Make sure you're on the winning team when it comes to your financial future. Contact Richard Lepore at Signature Financial Solutions at 1375 Gateway Boulevard in Boynton Beach, and set your course for financial security. Phone 561-596-2743. And tonight's game is brought to you in part by Cobalt Computer Consultants, located in the shops of Jupiter at 201 North US Highway 1 in Jupiter for computer training, lessons, and repairs. Phone 561-623-0533 or 561-880-5685. Member Apple Consultants Network. And after tonight's game, stop by Cheeseburgers and More in the Jupiter West Shopping Center on Indian Town Road and enjoy one of their great burgers and your favorite beverage. Again, 10-7 our score at halftime. The Jupiter Warriors holding on to the 3-point lead as all the points were scored in quarter number 2 here tonight. 10-7 our halftime score.
salute two very special guests. Mark and Catherine Bellissimo of Wellington. Last year, the Bellissimos heard about our band's need for new uniforms and decided to do something to help. In December 2012, they presented a check for $14,000 to the Wolverine Band Boosters, the support organization for the WHS band, and help pay a fund towards for our new uniforms purchase in January 2013. Please join the WHS band members and parents in thanking the Bellissimos for their incredible generosity. Director of Bands Mary Wilson, along with Wellington High School Principal Mario Cossetti, will now present a token of appreciation to Mark and Catherine Bellissimo of Wellington, as our mighty Wolverine sound salutes them with our school fight song, The Victory. The principal of Wellington High School is Mr. Mario Cossetti. Director of Bands is Mary Wilson. Concussion instructor is Eric Rucker. Auxiliary instructors are Adriana Brady and Jennifer Simmons. Music and marching arranger is Bill Castillo. This is the voice of the mighty Wolverine sound, Patrick, wishing you a pleasant evening, and go Wolverine! Continuing your halftime entertainment is the Wellington High School Jazz Band. Our dance team will be performing this year at the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans, Louisiana.
10-7, our halftime score. The Jupiter Warriors clinging to a 3-point lead. Looked like they might have a chance to add to it. Time just got away from them and ran out at the end of the second quarter. They were trying to get a timeout call, Bart, after they completed that long pass down around the 10-yard line with still 2 seconds left, but I don't think they were able to get all that taken care of in that short amount of time, where they could have tried to make it a 13-7 lead.
Well, the ruling was that the clock had ran out before the Jupiter receiver was down on that play, and so time ran out on them. They had to settle for the 3-point lead as opposed to 6 or maybe even more, and really had an opportunity to, like you had said earlier in the first half, to even shut Wellington out, but that turnover on the punt made it very, very simple for Wellington really to push the ball into the end zone and get their lone score of the game, but Jupiter able to come back right after that, score a touchdown, take the 10-7 lead into the half, and now we're about to begin the second half of play.
Markeith Dokes has it teed up at the 40-yard line for the Warriors, and he'll kick it off as we'll start the third period here. And they're going to try an onside kick, or really a pooch kick over the middle, and fumbled, and then grabbed by the ball carrier, and he gets whacked down right away at the 30-yard line. That turned out pretty good, all things considered. And actually, they had a chance to maybe come up with that ball, but a good job there by Gene Rene to hang on to that football.
Yeah, that was a for Jupiter, honestly, to pin a team at the 30 has been pretty good for them throughout the season. So some medium field position, we'll say, to start the half for Wellington.
Cole Smallbridge will bring the Wolverines up to the line of scrimmage. They'll send a wide out to the near side here. They've got also a wide out on the far side. A lone running back there, and they're going to hand the ball off to Sabatino, and he gets hit and goes down for no gain. He tried to get wide to the left side of the line, but Jupiter would have none of it and stopped him there for no gain. 2nd and 10 at the 30.
Well, Jupiter able to come up and make the stop there on the first play from scrimmage for the second half, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for Wellington, as Jupiter would love to get a 3-and-out here to start the half and begin their march on offense.
Absolutely. Get back to work. 11 minutes, 20 seconds left to play third quarter. 10-7 the score here at Wellington High School. Jupiter on top. They got out to a 3-0 lead, then saw Wellington go up 7-3, but answered the bell, and they lead at 10-7.
And a flag before everybody gets up to the line.
And too much time taken by the Wolverines, so that'll make it even tougher. That'll be a 2nd and 15 now as it takes the ball back to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, it's one of those things that is tough to get used to, and you gotta think it's somewhat tough for the players too, as there are no play clocks that I see down here in Florida for most of the high school teams.
Here's a pass rush, come on, and they're going to hit Smallridge and drop him back at the 15, no, the 20. So he lost 5 more as they sent the blitz that time and dropped him for another 5-yard loss, where it'll be 3rd down and 20.
So a very successful defensive stand there for Jupiter as they push him backwards on this first drive in the second half. Although there is a Jupiter defender down on the play and injured on the field.
Kyle Radis is number 40, and he, let's hope it's just a cramp. It is rather a little bit of a muggy night and not much of a breeze. A little bit of one from the north to the south, but not a lot. And I can't tell right now. So many injuries that can come up on a football player when you go down. It can be a leg, an ankle. It can be a cramp. It can get your bell rung. There can be a head injury. You just don't know. And right now they're trying to sort that out a little bit. And the Wellington football team will come to the near sideline here. And the Jupiter Warriors will head over to their sideline to talk about this and find out what they want to do. Doug Uccellini will have to make a decision here as whether number 40 will be able to continue or not. And again, that young man is Kyle Radis, a 6', 200-pound senior defensive lineman. And it looks to me like they're working on that left calf a little bit. It's awfully tough to make a call from here, Bart, but I do believe the way that the medical staff is working on him down there that it could be a cramp.
Yeah, that's the way it looks. The way they're treating it right now, and they've got the trainer out there trying to stretch it out and get that thing going away so they can walk him off the field. That's one of the changes that I've seen over the past few years, really, is that they don't try to get those kids right off the field as they used to and get the game going. They give them a chance to work that cramp out right there on the field, and then get them to the sideline afterward.
That's a real change because you don't see that a lot of places. They'll go ahead and take a cramp, as long as it's something not serious, a cramp, and go ahead and get them off and play. But okay, Radis will come out of the ball game, but fortunately he's able to go off under his own power, and looks like Kyle will be okay. So now a 3rd and 20 from their own 20 facing Small Ridge and the Wolverines. He's under center. He will take it, drop back, wants to throw a quick pass, and it is caught out there for a first down. No, incomplete. Boy, I thought Richards came down. Amon Richards came down with it right in front of the sticks, but incomplete.
Hit him right in the hands. I think it hit him twice in the hands, actually, but he wasn't able to hold on as it dropped to his feet, and that'll bring up a 4th and about 20, it looks like. So punting situation here on the first drive for Wellington, as Jupiter should get this ball in pretty good field position for their first drive of the half.
They should. Hall is back to punt this ball away. Davis standing at the Jupiter 38-yard line. Now backs up to about the 36. Here's the snap. It's a good one, but some pressure put on. He does get the kick away. They're going to let it bounce, and everybody will move away from it, and it'll be down by Wellington at about the 45-yard line of Jupiter, and that's where the Warriors will start this particular drive, 1st and 10.
So good field position here for Jupiter to start their first drive, and they'll try to expand on their lead from the first half and put some points on the board here early in the second half to maybe put some space between them and the Wellington Wolverines.
Luciano Wallace, who had a big first half, is on the sideline, so they've got Davis in the backfield. And he gets the straight hand snap, and nothing. Absolutely nothing there as Wellington stops him for no gain.
So good defensive play there on first down for Wellington to stop Jupiter after a rough first drive. Leads to good Jupiter field position, and now we'll see what Jupiter tries to do here on their second down play.
2nd down and 10 from their own 45-yard line. Garland, if there is a quarterback, is it. Although he is down in a set position, and the handoff goes on a double inside handoff. I think Wilson got it after Davis took it initially, and it was Cody Wilson. Picked up a couple, and that's all. Going to bring up 3rd down and 9. A gain of 1 on the play as they move the ball out to they actually moved it up to the 47, so it's 3rd down, and 8 after a gain of 2. And a 3rd and long here for the Warriors. 9:20 left to play, 3rd quarter. And Garland wants to throw, flips the ball out. Wilson on the catch, tries to get to the corner to the outside, and then he has got the first down on a great second effort. They had him tackled shy of it, but he lunged right at the end, Bart, for the sticks, and he takes the ball inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. A gain of 9 on the play. He needed 8, 1st and 10. He moves the chains.
Good change of direction there. He was headed to the right, broke back to the left, was able to get a few yards after the initial contact and pick up the first down, get the ball into Wellington territory.
Football to 44 of the Wolverines. And they're going to try a running play. Davis is going to bring it to the left side. He's got a blocker out there, turns the corner, and gets ridden out of bounds at about the 30. He'll pick up about 14 yards, I think, and another first down.
Sabatino knocks him out of bounds.
Sabatino saved a touchdown there as it looked like Davis was about to turn the corner. They're going to spot him right on the 30, gain of 14, 1st and 10, 8:32 to play. 3rd quarter, Garland goes over to get the play, it looks like, from the sideline, and they may take him out of the ball game. I'm not sure what they're doing here. It is. So Wilson now calls the set. And also into the ball game, 14. And that's somebody, we don't have a name for number 14 for Jupiter. And a snap going to go to Cody Wilson. He's got some room on the left side, and he dives down to the 25. Boy, we haven't seen them take Griffin Garland out of a game like that. I think I remember him getting a cramp one time, Bart, and he had to leave for a play. But that's very unusual for him to leave the ball game. And I wish I could tell our viewers and our listeners who 14 is, but I don't know.
Yeah, no number for him, so somebody maybe called up. But he is the new man in the ball game. But it looks like that's number 9. That's
Garland comes back and Wilson goes out.
Yeah.
So 2nd and 5 at the Wolverine 25. And snap the ball to Davis. Tries to get wide to the right side. A flag is thrown. It's going to bring back and nullify a nice run down inside the 15, which would have been a first down, but they're going to have a hold on this.
Yeah, right where he threw that flag. That's a easy one to tell what's going on there, and they have the hold. That'll be a spot foul. Move them back, and that'll back them up to make this 2nd and pretty long right here. 2nd and probably about 14, 15 yards.
Yeah, something in that range.
Depending on where they got the spot of the foul.
Down at the 35. That's a 10-yard penalty, so call it 2nd and 15. Boy, those are just killers when you get those down there. Here comes Cody Wilson back in the ball game. A week ago, Bart said Jupiter needs to figure out a way to get Cody Wilson to touch the ball 10 times a game. Well, tonight they probably have done that. A much better job of getting Cody the ball.
Well, they've started to give him the ball out of the backfield a little bit more often as opposed to just throwing him the ball. And I think that's a good idea, putting the ball in his hands.
That's Davis with the ball, and he gets a nice run as he takes the ball down inside the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Or the 27-yard line. So he gained about 8, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down and call it 8 to go for the first down.
Still tough to get first down right here, but much more manageable than it was on the last play. And in that territory right now where it's probably 4-down territory. So if they can pick up 4 or 5 here, make it really manageable on 4th down, they'll give themselves a shot.
Snap is a good one. Garland wants to throw, fires it out here for Picarelli. He's got the catch, and they're going to mark him down at the 1-yard line. Wow. How was that not a touchdown?
And there's a flag as number 3 steps up and pops him after the play.
Well,
we'll see if these cancel out, if they call it on both sides, or if they just call it on number 3 for Wellington. But they both stood up, and the defensive player got right into the grill and pushed the Jupiter offensive player, and the flag thrown right away. Cooler heads prevail. Oh, and they're going to call this on Jupiter. Okay,
no offsetting.
Okay. They did make it offset.
Should be spot at the 1, right?
Yeah, it should stay right where it was.
Mm-hmm.
The penalties offset each other. I didn't really see. It must have been words from the Jupiter player.
Now they take the ball to the 11. Now they're not sure where they're going to set this ball.
This is odd. Very odd, as this turns out to be a 7-yard penalty against Jupiter, which Coach Mussolini is definitely questioning this. Is this really? I don't know what's happened here.
Yeah, that's very unexplainable. Nonetheless, the ball at the 8-yard line of the Wolverines, 1st and goal, Jupiter.
So the way that ends up working out is Wellington gets assessed half the distance to the goal. Jupiter gets assessed 15 yards, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And because it ends up, even though they're offsetting penalties, and anywhere else on the field, the ball just wouldn't move, it ends up being a 7-yard penalty against Jupiter.
So we had the ball carried there by Davis, and they spot him down. It looks to me like at the 8, so no gain. It'll be 2nd goal and goal from there. But it looks like there is a timeout on there. Boy, that's unusual. And that might be the high school rule, and if it is, then they called it right, but very strange. The big thing there, though, and it always is in sports, Bart, don't lose your cool. It's easier said than done, but it very seldom helps you. And in a case like that, winds up really hurting Jupiter, who really lost a chance at the end of the first half to get 3 points. And now if you
Big
don't
difference
score
between
here.
the 1 and the 7.
Absolutely. There's
Hey,
another
yeah.
7 points. So you're talking about a 10-point differential where Jupiter could have been looking at a 20-7 lead and now may not have more than the 10-7.
Right,
So
and that's my question on that. I mean, I'm watching that play all the way through, and the Jupiter player just stood up. He did nothing physically against the Wellington player. The Wellington player is the one that did all the physical contact, but they flagged both of them, which must have been something the Jupiter player said.
Davis going to try to skirt right in. He cuts it back up, and he takes it in for the touchdown. Touchdown Jupiter with 5:20 left to play. So they go the 55 yards, and they do it in 9 plays. Davis with his second touchdown run of the night, Bart, and he makes it a 16-7 ball game in favor now of Jupiter.
So big touchdown there for Jupiter, taking a 2-score lead right here as they'll kick the extra point, and it'll go through with ease, and that'll make the score 17-7 Jupiter, as a big way to finish off that drive there, where it looked like it was going to be pretty easy inside the 1, but the penalties, offsetting penalties that actually equaled -7 yards for Jupiter, but they were able to overcome that, stick the ball in the end zone, and increase their lead here in the third quarter.
Well, there are some actual rules, football rules in high school that really need to be looked at by the National Federation. That is one of them right there. And the other one that you don't see it a lot probably.
The offside on
but it's the offside on a kick. If I kick it and the defense is off, I should be able to decline that penalty and take the point. But that is not the case because it is ruled a dead ball foul, but only in high school football.
Yeah, that one really doesn't make sense to me. A defensive penalty that penalizes the offense
Exactly.
is really not excusable, and I'd love to speak to the people that think that makes any sense. Really,
Me too.
To really just see what their reasoning is, because I personally can't come up with any reason for it to be that way.
I know. I've lobbied for that one for years, but so far the National Federation has not listed. Here's the onside kick try, and did the Warriors get on top of it? They think they did.
I think
as
they
went
got it.
after
The question is, did they touch it too early? Did the official
That's
see
what
it?
the official looks like he's going to call, that they touched the ball before it went 10 yards, and he's going to give that ball to Wellington, and it did not, it was touched before it went to 10 yards.
And that's what I thought happened. It looked like it hit off the foot of one of the Jupiter players before it went to 10 yards. Actually, I think they got kind of a good spot out of it. I thought it really hit his foot at about the 48, but they do mark it just inside the 50, call it the 49.5-yard line, and Wellington will have the football to start their drive there in Jupiter territory.
Yeah, they're going to have great field position. I'm not sure I get that 10-point lead of course, if you get the ball back and you can put it in for a score, I guess that's what you're looking at, then you really take control of the game.
We continue to see the interesting things on the Jupiter kickoffs.
They are the most exciting thing of the game. Here is a handoff to Sabatino, and he is stopped at about the 45-yard line, a gain of about 4. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 6. Jupiter's done a pretty good job of hemming number 23 in tonight, Matt Sabatino, the 5'11", 190-pound running back senior for the Wolverines.
Yeah, they've been able to contain him pretty nicely. It seems like Jupiter does have maybe a little bit more speed on the outside defensively to contain him, keep him inside most of the time. And even on the inside, it seems like they get the push from the line and have the strength to get some pretty good initial contact.
Small Ridge looks like he might want to pass. He's got twin receivers each way. Jupiter shows blitz. He's going to hand the ball to Sabatino, and he's got a 1st down and more, and he's finally brought down, but not before he takes the ball down inside the 35-yard line.
And as I say that, they get into the secondary and get a big gain and keep this drive alive and push themselves deeper into Jupiter territory, and they're starting to get into that area where you can talk about them threatening for a score.
That was a gain of 12, and now it's a 1st and 10 at the Jupiter 33, and not getting that first down, or that recovering that onside kick right now, huge in this game. Small Ridge under center, twin receivers each way. Jupiter showing blitz. They're going to hand the ball to Sabatino to get a big hole. He takes it right up the middle. He's got more yardage and another first down as he drives it down to the 20-yard line. 13-yard pickup, 1st and 10 at the 20.
So a couple big plays on the ground right there, back-to-back for Wellington. And they get right down to that red zone mark, as we call it. And they are threatening right here, 1st down and 10. And Jupiter's back on their heels right now.
3:37 to play, 3rd quarter. Wellington on the move. They've driven to the Jupiter 20. Small Ridge will hand again to Sabatino. This time he's hit, though, after a short gain. Coming up to make the stop, Griffin Garland on the tackle.
It looks like they do get positive yardage, but very short, only 1 yard right there on the play down to the 19. 2nd and 9 right there, and Jupiter going to try to make a stand here and keep this lead right where it's at.
Now, we do know that the Wolverines have a good kicker. We were able to watch him in the pregame. Now there's going to be a timeout taken here by the Wellington Wolverines. 3:02 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Jupiter 17, Wellington 7. And what has been a very hotly contested ball game and a well-played one. Make sure you're on the winning team when it comes to your financial future. Contact Richard Lepore at Signature Financial Solutions at 1375 Gateway Boulevard in Boynton Beach and set your course for financial security. Phone 561-596-2743. And tonight's game is brought to you in part by Cobalt Computer Consultants, located in the shops of Jupiter at 201 North US Highway 1 in Jupiter. For computer training, lessons, and repairs, phone 561-623-0533. Member Apple Consultants Network. And after tonight's game, stop by Cheeseburgers and More in the Jupiter West Shopping Center on Indian Town Road. Enjoy one of their great burgers and your favorite beverage. They're going to go to the shotgun and spread out the field. Small Ridge is going to hand the ball to Sabatino. No, he keeps it himself on a bootleg play. He's got a first down and dives for the end zone. Did he get in? No, they're going to rule him down. They say he did not get in, but boy, that was a great call, and they're going to have 1st and goal down at, it looks like, the 3-yard line.
Yeah, he was able to escape the pressure there, moved to the left side, was able to find plenty of running room, got the first down, almost scored the touchdown, but was ruled out of bounds a few yards short, but they will have 1st and goal from the 3-yard line.
Well, I tell you, you got to really wonder about the onside kick try now. It didn't travel far enough before it was touched, and Wellington about to turn it into a touchdown here. 1st and goal from 3, hand the ball to Sabatino, and I don't believe he got in.
No, it looks like he's going to get a little bit of positive yardage, maybe call it 1. I think they're going to mark it right at the 2-yard line, and Jupiter maybe with a little bit of life here, going to try to stand him up, force maybe a field goal here, and keep a touchdown lead. That'd be a great stand for this defense where Wellington sits right now.
Well, I'm looking over there, and it looks to me like that football's still right on the 3, so he gained nothing on that play where it's 2nd and goal. Again, they'll try to spread the field. They've got a wide receiver on each side of the football field. Sabatino deep in the backfield behind Small Ridge, who's under center. And Small Ridge is going to take it himself, and he might have got in for the score. No indication yet that he's in. It's going to be a 3rd and goal, it appears.
They're going to mark it right at the goal line. Really looked like there was some movement to me before the ball was snapped. It looked like a few guys were starting their forward progress, but no flag there, and Jupiter still able to stand them up and have one more opportunity here to try to thwart their attempts to get into the end zone.
Oh, we've got a Jupiter player shaken up on the play. That's not Griffin Garland, is it? I'm looking for number 9, and I'm not seeing Griff's number. And that could, or is that Cody Wilson that's down? It's kind of hard to tell. I can't pick a number up here, but either one of those guys would be an important player for Jupiter. Minute 45 left to play in the third quarter. We've got a 3rd and goal coming up with the football. Looks like going to be marked about the 1 foot line. And this all started when Jupiter had pushed out to a 10-point lead, gone up 17-7. They tried an onside kick. They actually recovered it, but it was touched by a Jupiter player before it had gone the mandatory 10 yards, and that gave the football to Wellington at the Jupiter 49-yard line. And since then, they've taken just 8 plays to get the football where it is right now, and they still are attending to the injured player out there on the field. And as we said, if it is Griffin Garland or Cody Wilson, either one, that would be a blow to the Jupiter offense. It would be either one of those guys. Garland, if there is such a thing as a quarterback in the single wing offensive set, he is it. And he is the guy that is able to throw the football. Although tonight, I thought Wallace ran the ball very well in the first half, and then Davis has done well in the second half. But it's interesting, we've not seen those two guys in the game at the same time very much at all, and none that I can recall in the second half, Bart.
Yeah, no, they seem to be rotating those two as they have the last few games, really. It seems like it's either Wallace or Davis, but not a whole lot of both of them at the same time. And yeah, as far as the injured player, you really hope it's not one of those guys, a Wallace or a Davis or a Cody Wilson, because those are your kind of go-to guys. And
well, it's not Garland. I see number 9 on the sideline over there, so I know it's not him. But all right, now maybe we can get a look, because I do have the player standing up, and I think I want to say this is a cramp again, but it kind of looked like the way they brought him up, it might be an ankle injury as well. So we'll try to watch that and also see if we can figure out who the young man is. And he is standing, but they still, as you can see, have not taken him off the gridiron yet. And it is Cody Wilson, number 3, that is the man that's shaken up, and it looks like, or appears from here, that he's having a lot of trouble putting any weight on that left foot. And even though Wellington goes back out on the football field, they're not going to snap this ball anytime soon, as Cody has just not been able to vacate the field yet. So the man that has provided a lot of offensive highlight reels this year for Jupiter is shaken up on this play, and that's what happens. That's one of the dangers of having guys that have to go both ways, Bart, and there's a good example of it. Cody Wilson, probably if they had enough players and enough depth defensively, wouldn't be out there on the football field, but he's so valuable to this team with his speed that he has to be out there and cover wide receivers when he's on defense.
Yeah, he is their big play guy, especially anytime they throw the ball up and try to go deep. It seems like it's to number 3, and he is a very valuable part of this offense, and it'd be quite a blow to lose him. And interesting to see who'd pick up the slack.
This doesn't look good.
Right there, yeah, definitely.
Bring
not
the golf
gonna be able
cart
to go
out.
off on his own power. They're going to have to give him a ride off the field. It'll be, I'd say that may denote the end of this game for Wilson.
Well, yeah, and you hope that no more than that, because such a valuable member of this high school football team for the Jupiter Warriors, but it looks like he is going to have to get in that cart and be taken off the field. He's not going to be able to go off under his own power.
Yeah, so a blow here for Jupiter with just under 2 minutes to play, 1:45 to play in the third quarter, and still a close ball game especially with where Wellington's at on the field right now, in possession of the football. A touchdown right here, touchdown and extra point makes this game within reach of a field goal. A field goal makes it within reach of a touchdown. So Wellington looking like they're in prime position to make this a one-score football game, and Jupiter losing one of their big play offensive guys, what it looks like is going to be most likely for the rest of this football game. And we'll see how the Jupiter offense combats the loss of Cody Wilson. And a lot of times you don't get as many props on defense. He's, I'm sure, a very important player on the defensive side of the ball as well. So definitely a big loss here for Jupiter. Losing a starter anytime on either side of the ball, but especially both sides of the ball, is is never something you want to see happen.
He sat down in the golf cart they've taken to the sideline, and here is Wellington trying to run the football in for the score, but there is no indication as of yet. Now there is a touchdown. And I think that was Small Ridge that took it in.
So Jupiter did their best, stopped them a couple times there on whenever Wellington had first and goal, but they weren't able to stop them and force a turnover or a field goal there, and that makes this game much closer now. And we have that exciting close football game that was kind of expected out of a lot of people that we talked to and things that we read.
Right. Here's the snap, and they fumble it. Picked up by Small Ridge, and he's tackled. So that's a big point missed there.
Big play in this
Absolutely,
game.
And it keeps the score at this point 17-13 in favor of the Jupiter Warriors, who will have to go to work, as Bart told you now, with one of their real principal offensive weapons out of the ball game. And I'm looking across the way, and they're helping Cody Wilson out of the golf cart now, and it looks like he's actually going to take a seat on what appears to be some type of a medical table over there, and he's going to sit down. Let's hope that it's not a serious injury, but now he's lying flat on his back, and it looks like they're going to take a look at it over there and try to determine just how severe of an injury this is to Cody.
Well, Jupiter, of course, going to hope that they can hold on at this point and get a win here tonight, but after that, seeing what's going on over there, you got to start worrying about next week already for
Absolutely.
one of their big players.
Yeah, when they'll be playing at Park Vista. This is the first of 3 straight road games. Here is a short kick, and it's taken by Davis. He dropped it, he picked it back up, and now he takes off, but he's grabbed and spun down at about the 25-yard line. Sometimes when you drop it like that, the coverage will overrun you. Wellington did not, and it's going to start at the 25-yard line. So a very important drive in this football game about to be started here by the Jupiter Warriors without one of their key offensive weapons, Cody Wilson, who is being administered to over on the far sideline.
So we'll see. He's been important both out of the air and on the ground tonight. So we'll see if they go to Luciano Wallace some more, or if they start to hand the ball back off to Davis a little bit more on this drive.
Tight set, and the snap is straight ahead to the first back through, and they let him dance around a while after a pickup of what appears to be about 4 yards out to about the 29-yard line. We're to be second down and 6.
So they did go to Davis there on that first down play, and he does get some positive yardage, and a little bit different. Nope. Thought they were going to come out with a little bit different set, but
here is running play to Davis, trying to get wide to the left side, and he's got the corner and then gets taken out of bounds. That might have been number 2, actually, that carried the ball. And a late hit taken by Wellington.
Yeah, that's just not smart right there by the Wellington defense. Right there at their own bench, the guy's driven out of bounds, and they're pretty much kicking him out of bounds whenever he's on the ground. So they are going to flag that, and it looks like that'll add some more.
He had picked up 13, and he had a first down. And then, as Bart said, they're going to tack on here, and it's going to be a 1st and 10. And
they're going to call this on Jupiter. That once he was out of bounds.
Oh my goodness!
He was the one.
Oh my goodness! 2 penalties against Jupiter
defense.
Coach Uccellini is pretty much beside himself over there, wanting the explanation. He's not going to get it. Boy, that was a strange call. That looked like the ball carrier hit out of bounds, and the penalty goes against Jupiter. Wow, so now they're going to spot the
10
ball.
10 yards for holding, 15 yards on a personal foul, which the holding call is going to be a spot foul, which is going to back them up even more.
They're at the 6.
They would have had the ball at about the 40. This is going to end up being like a 34-yard penalty here against the Warriors.
Call it 2nd and 30. It's in that neighborhood. Boy, what an interesting call that was, and where did it come from? So Jupiter holding on to a 4-point lead. We're inside the final 30 seconds, and they may just let that clock run out if they can. I think they may have to snap it, though, before. And Garland's going to drop back, wants to pass. Gets flushed, gets hit, and goes down at about the 5 or 6 yard line. No gain. It'll bring up 3rd and long, but that will be the end of the 3rd quarter of play as time runs out. And the score at this point is 17-13. Jupiter leading over Wellington on a strange set of events that's happened here in the last couple of moments, and I don't believe I've ever seen a ball carrier tackled out of bounds, late hit, and then a penalty go against the offense.
Yeah, that was definitely interesting. It was on the Wellington sideline. It must have been something of maybe once he was down, he was kicking at the defensive players or something of that sort that they deemed as unnecessary. And
well, Bart, number 2 was the ball carrier for
his first
Jupiter,
action.
But Jonathan Jerez, that's not him. We know it's not. He's 6 foot, 175, and has been the kicker. So Jupiter has got some. They've got some guys playing that we know number 2 is not Jerez, and we don't know who number 14 is. They have no number 14 listed, so they have really snuck some personnel into the ball game that we just don't know.
Well, and I'm sure that new number 2, that's the player that took the place of Cody Wilson after his injury. As we said, it doesn't look like we'll see him again in this football game, but he came out, made a nice run. I mean, it was a good play, got some good positive yardage, but it ended up being amounting to about a 35-yard penalty.
Here is a quick kick, and they need a roll on this. They're going to get it, and it's going to roll out to the 49-yard line. You know what? That's not a bad play there.
No,
not a bad play from the 6 out to the 49-yard line. That's 45 yards that you got there to defend a little bit, and that's as good a play as you can hope for.
Definitely caught the Wellington defense off guard right there, caught us off guard, and he was able to get that ball off quickly, had a decent kick in the air, but a good roll, got him an extra 10, 15 yards, and that'll put Wellington back into their own territory, even if just barely, but good kick in a situation where they're backed up, and maybe, it's much better than taking a safety or anything like that, so we'll see how the defense can stand now.
Small Ridge under center. He's got a setback behind him. He gives the ball to Sabatino, and not much there. Maybe a yard, and that's all.
Sabatino on the carry.
Jupiter defenders were waiting for him as he came up. Stop made by Jupiter's Anthony DeMarco, number 45 on that play. Jupiter going to have to really stiffen up here defensively. 11:26, an eternity of time left in this football game. Warriors lead it 17-13.
If Jupiter can keep the Wellington offense out of the end zone.
Here's a snap, and Small Ridge hands the ball off to Sabatino, but he loses yardage. They tried to fool Jupiter on that play as he started. It looked like he was going to put it in the belly of Sabatino and then pull it away. He didn't, and they lost 2 on it. And it's 3rd down and 11 at the 48-yard line, and the biggest 3rd down play of the ball game's coming up right now.
Yeah, Jupiter done a nice job here on these first 2 plays from scrimmage after the quick kick. Have a chance here right now to get a stop and have Wellington punt the ball away and maybe get the ball in a little better field position than they ended up on that last drive and start their next drive.
3rd and 11. Wellington from their own 48-yard line. Jupiter showing blitz. Small Ridge back, wants to pass, throws it down the sideline, and the ball is caught. A diving catch going up high in the air to pull it down. Number 2, Amon Richards, and that's a 1st down.
Very nice offensive football play right there as he throws the ball up, makes sure that he puts it to where pretty much his only offensive player can go up and get it, and he was able to do so, went up above 2 defenders, pulled that ball down for a big first down on 3rd and long, and now Wellington into Jupiter territory and on the march.
22-yard gain, 1st and 10 at the 30. Small Ridge in the gun. He's going to carry it himself. Jupiter tackled the wrong guy, and he's going to take the ball down to inside the 20 at about the 19. Boy, they fooled everybody. 11-yard gain, 1st and 10.
Definitely getting more interesting right now as this football game very close throughout, and now Wellington down by 4, charging down the field right here with an opportunity to take the lead if they can stick it in the end zone.
They trail by 4, 9:34 to go. A field goal will not give them the lead. It would make it a 1-point ball game. Small Ridge comes up under center. He's got split wide receivers to each side. Sabatino might have started before the snap of the ball. They don't get that call, and then he's hit, and now we've got a flag thrown, and this will probably be a hold on the Wolverines, but I maybe shouldn't say that.
75, it looked like. I think they're going to get on the hold. It looked like he was holding a guy a couple yards past the line of scrimmage, or right at the line of scrimmage, who was in pursuit.
Yeah, that's where the flags were thrown, so this will still be a first down, but it is going to back it up to the
10 yards for holding.
It's a 10-yard penalty, so it should be back at, what, the 29-yard line? No, it's not quite out there. It's at the 28.
Yeah, I think they threw the flag a couple yards in front of the line of scrimmage, and that's where the hold actually took place. So a little bit less than a 10-yard penalty, 10-yard from the spot of the foul, but it'll back Wellington up after a nice pass play.
Wellington at the Jupiter 28. They're going to pitch the ball and try to get to the side, and they've got some blocking, and they run the ball down to the, 20-yard line inside of there. I'm not sure who got that handoff, but he had some speed. That was number 20 that carried the ball that time for Wellington, and that is Mike Howard, and he got a big chunk of that yardage back. Looks like about 12 yards he got back. It'll be 2nd down and 8 with the football now at the 18-yard line. 8 minutes, 22 seconds left to play. 17-13. Jupiter clinging to a 4-point lead, but Wellington on the move. They've got a 2nd and 8 at the Jupiter 18-yard line. Small Ridge sends a wide receiver far to each side of the football field. He's got Sabatino behind him, and he's going to give Sabatino the ball, but he's hit and then gets away. That actually was 20, and he's carrying people down to the 10. They can't get him down. They're going to mark him down at the 12. He got 6 yards, and he really should have been stopped for nothing. And that was number 20 again. That's running very hard out there, Mike Howard.
Yeah, it really looked like Jupiter
3rd down and about 2.
Really looked like Jupiter was going to get him for either loss of yards or at least no gain. And he was able to reverse direction, head back toward the middle, and then carry the pile really for 5 or 6 yards, get some nice positive yardage, and set up a 3rd down and short play here.
3rd and 3 at the 12. This is 4-down territory for Wellington, looking to take the lead. 7 points would give them a 20-17 lead. Jupiter trying to get their people moved around, and they didn't, but they stopped the play. That worked out well for them. It looked like they were not ready for it, but they wound up stuffing that play for a loss. Back to where? Back to the, only
wow,
13.
What a spot.
Yeah, only a loss of 1.
Less than 1, although, wow, that's definitely a generous spot. As Wellington's going to take time out here, and my guess is they're going to talk it over a little bit. If they're going to go for it on 4th down, they definitely want to set up a play and make sure everybody's on the same page. But also maybe the coaching staff thinking about it a little bit. They've got a kicker with a real nice leg who we've seen can kick it from a nice distance, to where if you kick a field goal here, you make it a 1-point game. You still got just under 7 minutes to play. You got timeouts left. You got an opportunity. Maybe you can get a stop. And I think, from what it looked like, seeing this guy kick in pregame, if they get the ball down to, I'd say, inside the 25, they have an opportunity. And
right now it would only be a 30-yard attempt.
Well,
they're
for
at
this one, but I'm saying if they'd hit the field goal here, make it a 1-point game, get a stop, get the ball back,
have a chance for the win.
Get a chance for the win just by kicking the football. rather than having to put it into the end zone. That may be an option, although I haven't seen any personnel change in the huddle, really.
I think they're going to go for it here. They need 4 yards. It's going to be 4th and 4. If you ever change up a cadence, this is a place to do that too, although you don't want to fake out your own teammates. Small Ridge is out in the field. They're going to go for it. 4th and 4 at the Jupiter 13-yard line. Warriors leading by 4. He'll come up under center. He's trying to draw him off sides. He's got it. He's going to flush to the left. He gets some pressure, throws the ball. Incomplete.
Huge.
Incomplete. He tried to roll out, but a good job of Jupiter to get after him. Number 14 was breathing down his throat, made him throw the ball on the run, and that's the guy we don't know, the mystery man.
There for a minute, I really thought that it was going to open up enough for him to run for the first down, but the Jupiter defense pursued quick enough and got outside and would have stopped him had he tried to run it. He thought he had a guy open in the end zone, underthrew him as he was throwing on the run, and the incomplete pass turns the ball over to Jupiter, and they will have the ball 1st and 10 with still a more than a field goal lead, which is big coming down here in the 4th quarter with under 7 minutes to play.
I'd like to see Luciano Wallace get some carries here. They're going to hand the ball off to Davis. He dives forward for a couple. Out across the 15, or up to the 15. That's where they're going to mark him. It's going to be 2nd down and 8 there. So actually, Bart, that quick kick that we saw on the 3rd down by Jupiter saved the day for the moment.
Yeah, that ends up being a very big play. They caught him off guard, were able to get a nice kick out of that, and then get the defensive stop.
And they're going to hand the ball off to the second back through, gains a couple more. They've got all kinds of new people in there, Jupiter does, I guess, just trying to get some fresh legs. I'm not even sure who the ball carrier was that time. They had number 22 out there, and that is David Parrish, but he didn't get the ball. So now you're looking at a 3rd down and 6 with the ball at the 17. 5:58 to play, and a timeout taken on the field. After tonight's game, stop by Cheeseburgers and More in the Jupiter West Shopping Center on Indian Town Road and enjoy one of their great burgers and your favorite beverage. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Cobalt Computer Consultants, located in the shops of Jupiter at 201 North US Highway 1 in Jupiter for computer training, lessons, and repairs. Phone 561-623-0533 or 561-880-5685. Member Apple Consultants Network. And make sure you're on the winning team when it comes to your financial future. Contact Richard Lepore at Signature Financial Solutions at 1375 Gateway Boulevard in Boynton Beach and set your course for financial security. His phone number is 561-596-2743. 3rd and 6, do you try the quick kick again, or what do you do here? You did it once.
Hey, you have a little bit more space right here. If nothing else, you run the football, I think. Take some more time off the clock or force Wellington to take a timeout.
Got to try to get Davis to the outside, and he's got the corner. He's got a 1st down and more as he takes it all the way out near the 40-yard line. He's finally run out of bounds. Boy, great blocking ahead of him, Bart, that set that up, and he's got that burst of speed, and what a huge 1st down that was.
Very, very big play right there. That'll allow them to take a couple more minutes off of this clock with the lead, and gives them a lot more room right there to where even if they do have to punt the football now, they get a nice punt and pin Jupiter deep with maybe about 3 minutes or less to play. Makes it a lot tougher ball game for the
22-yard gain by Davis. 1st and 10 out at their own 39-yard line. They're going to try Davis to the left side this time. He tries to turn the corner, and he does, and he picks up good yardage, and he almost leaped over a defender as he takes the ball up. He didn't get the best of spots there. It looked like he actually had the ball out and where the ball is sitting, but they're going to move it back a yard to the 46. It looked like he had it up to the 47, but that's a gain of 7. 2nd down and 3. Most importantly, he stayed in bounds. But why is the clock stopped here? A hold called on Jupiter.
Ouch.
Wow. Yeah, you got to be careful when you run those
Yeah, it looked like he
sprint
had a lot
outs.
of good blocking there. The blocking slowed him up, really, but he was patient, didn't overrun his blocks, and waited for the play to develop in front of him. Ended up getting a nice gain, but all that's going to be negated and more as this is going to back the ball up to the Jupiter 26-yard line.
That cost them 20 yards, Bart.
Oh, my.
Yeah, cost them 20 yards.
They've had a couple of those that have been huge penalties.
So this should be, if I'm correct on this, a second down play, although it says a first down play on the marker. First and call it about 24. And that's also what it's got on the scoreboard clock. 4:55 to play.
I think he had picked up the yardage for the first down and then the hold occurred, maybe.
Wow. We've seen some real interesting calls here in this game.
I was listening to the officials during half down at the restroom. They were talking about how they hadn't had to throw many flags in this game. It's kind of turned a little bit here in the second half.
Davis carries the football, and he gets up to the 33-yard line, so he gains 7, where it's second down and 17.
Clock still kicking here, nearing 4 minutes to play, and that's what Jupiter wants to make happen here is they do have the lead in Wellington. In a situation where a field goal does nothing for them at this point, they will have to shove the ball into the end zone even if they get it back after this next play.
Devin Bluey's wide to the right. They give the ball to Davis. Not much of a hole there, and they stop him, although he did move the ball up to the 35. He'll gain 2 more. Hang on and take some more time off that clock.
And even though this is really a passing down coming up, I doubt Jupiter's going to put the ball in the air right here.
Call it third down and 14. You just want to keep that clock moving and keep as much, take as much time off. But Wellington's going to have a chance, it looks like, unless Jupiter can pull up a big first down here to win this ball game. Warriors faced with a 3rd and 14 at their own 35-yard line. They've got a man in motion, and they're going to give him the ball. He's going to try to get to the outside, but he slips and falls down as he makes his move out across the 40 at the 41. So he gains 6, and it's going to bring up a 4th and 8, and a punting situation for Jupiter. And Markeith Dokes will come in to try to kick this ball away, and he needs to really nail one here.
A little bit surprised right now. I believe Wellington has timeouts left. If you're ever going to take one to conserve some clock, you do it with an impending 4th down on a punting situation. But they are going to let the clock wind down, and it's been about 30 seconds that they've lost, putting it under 2.5 minutes to play right now.
Boy, if you ever tried to fake a punt, this might be a place to do it too, but that takes some real guts. Long snap count. And Dokes gets it. Got a good snap, gets a good kick away, end over end, and it is going to hit and take a Jupiter bounce and go out down around the 20. That's about as good as you could hope for.
I think they're going to mark it at about the 30, actually, but oh no, he's just going to move it back. So well, maybe. I'm not sure. He was at the 25, came out to the 30, moved back to about the 26, then came back to the 30. Now
looks like the 24, doesn't it? Is where they're going to mark it.
Up to the 24-yard line. So a good kick right there, and just over 2 minutes to play. We'll see if the Jupiter defense can get one more stop here with this amount of time left to play and secure this win.
Small Ridge in the gun. He's got wide receivers to each side of the football field. He's been able to get some completions. He drops straight back. He wants to fire. He goes for the sideline, and incomplete as the wide receiver had to play a defender to keep that ball away from Davis. Incomplete, and that would have been a first down and a lot more. Pretty well defended there by Davis, but boy, you hold your breath on that one-on-one coverage. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Wellington had the guy out there, like you said, one-on-one. They went for basically the home run there on first down, which in this situation, needing a touchdown, if you can pick up a big bulk of those yards on your first play from scrimmage, really shorten the field. It helps you out, gives you a little bit of confidence, but incomplete pass brings up 2nd down and 10.
One thing Jupiter did not do on that particular play, they got no pass rush on Small Ridge. Now, this time he's under center. He's going to roll to his left. He wants to pass the ball. He's got a man out here, and he's got the catch, but he's tackled immediately, and he stays in bounds. Well played by Jupiter, and I don't think that's enough for a first down. They mark him shy of the 30, don't they, Bart? At about the 28, that's only a gain of about 4 yards.
Yeah, that's not going to be the play that the Wellington coaches wanted as clock ticks away, and a third and long, really.
3rd and 6, and they get after the quarterback. He runs back, and he gets hit, and he goes down. He's sacked all the way back inside the 15-yard line. Who got him? What a huge play. That might have been 45, who's had a whale of a game tonight for Jupiter. And that is Anthony DeMarco, and a big sack there by DeMarco.
And now Wellington's going to take a timeout with 4th at about 20 to
25?
play. Yeah.
Although they have the guys that can get long, this is where Jupiter's got to make sure, Bart, that they get some pressure on the quarterback. He can't have the time that he even had on that first down play because he's got some, in Amon Richards, he's got a tremendous receiver that can go up and get that ball and bring it down. And if you can keep him from getting the first down here, you can really make it tough on him. It's going to be the football spotted all the way back at the 15-yard line.
Maybe send 1 or 2 guys on pressure right here to force the quarterback to get rid of the ball as quick as possible. Send everybody else basically back into coverage to try to prevent them from getting a first down. Even if they would happen to get the big gain for the first down, if they could contain it, keep Wellington on their side of the football field with under a minute and a half to play, time getting short for them to try and stick this in the end zone.
4th and 19. Nobody gets behind you. And jumping up, did we have movement, or did we have number 18 for Jupiter jump in the neutral zone? That is Ryan Tomasi, and he did. Boy, you can't do that, Ryan. You just got to make sure you don't step into that.
Right there. Yeah, that's one where you just want to sit and you want to be sure and not give them any free yardage.
So now it's 4th and 14 at the 19-yard line. Small Ridge back in the shotgun, wants to throw, fires it down out here and out of bounds. No chance for it, incomplete, and no flags on the field, and Jupiter is held, and they will take over at the 19-yard line. A minute 21 to play. Boy, what a job by this Jupiter Ball Club here tonight, Bart. They lose one of their real star players in Cody Wilson and have to find a way to do it defensively here down the stretch. But the defense has been pretty solid all year long, and they have risen to the occasion. And 2 big plays here in this 4th quarter were huge. The sack by DeMarco on this last series, and the quick kick, which really is maybe the call of the night for Jupiter.
Yeah, it's that's one of those plays that you don't know it necessarily when it happens, but we did kind of presume that, hey, maybe that was a really nice call, catch them off guard, stick them back there, and it was really the play of the defense right after that to stick them down and have to punt the football again and get the ball back that made that play look really, really smart.
Garland took the snap and took a knee. And that'll be a loss of 1 and call it out at the 20. 2nd down and 11. Clock down now to 53 seconds. Wellington can't stop it. Jupiter will have to probably take one more knee and escape with a hard-fought 17-13 victory that saw no points scored in the 4th quarter. There, Griffin Garland takes the knee, 37 seconds to play. If they're not even going to spot this ball until there's 30 seconds left, and this game should be over. He sets it down now, and they should not have to snap it again, I do not believe.
And even if they do, they can just take one more knee on it. That'll run out the clock. And Jupiter going to be able to hold on to this ball game and not going to have to snap it again, and they're going to win this game.
Well, this ball game kind of goes as the season has gone for Jupiter. Another close one, another tight one. Everybody thought it would be. I think some of the prognosticators had picked at 2 or 3 points, one team or the other, and it winds up a 4-point game at 4-point ball game that Jupiter wins 17-13. And what actually proved to be the winning score for them was Davis, that pushed it out to a 17-7 lead on a 2nd and goal from 8. And then, of course, Small Ridge got that 1-yard touchdown run after the Warriors tried Bart the onside kick and were unsuccessful. But Jupiter's season now 3-3, the same as the Wolverines, both ball clubs at 500. And for Jupiter, they got to be happy where they're at. They've played everybody pretty tough, but they got a real tough assignment next Friday night when they'll go to Park Vista.
Yeah, another road game in this stretch of 3 road games in a row, and it'll be another test, just as probably not quite the Dwyer test that they had, but one of the toughest teams that they have remaining on their schedule next week, and that'll be a big game, setting them up to see where they stand at this point in the season. And if they could pull out a win there and get back above 500, this could be a real nice football season for the Warriors yet.
It sure could be. Well, an exciting ball game. It was 0-0 the end of the first quarter. It was 10-7 at half. Jupiter with the lead. And then the Warriors scored a touchdown and an extra point in the third quarter. That proved to be a big game, a big play in this game too, when the Wolverines got a touchdown and then got a bad snap on the extra point attempt. It kept it a 4-point ball game where a field goal would not tie the score for them, and that's the way the ball game would end. Final score 17-13. Jupiter now 3-3 on the year. The Wolverines of Wellington also 3-3, and I have to really say thank you to Patty Fitzhugh and her staff, the AD here at Wellington High School. Did a marvelous job of taking care of us, and quite a wonderful, hospitable crew, and we really appreciate it. And that's going to wrap it up tonight from Wellington. Again, Justin Hedges, a good job on the camera, and a good ball game here, 17-13, won by Jupiter. I'm Brett Weibel saying so long till next time.